Okay, I have 17 minutes to film, I think. Freeze. So you're probably wondering why I'm wearing these big fly eye glasses. Well, minutes prior to filming this video, my allergies got really bad and my eyes decided to just, get a little bit puffy and they looked like mini hamburgers. So really, you wouldn't want to see that. So I just put on glasses. Thank you. Let's continue. So the topic is Mexican folk dance. How did it even start? Okay, so we have the history of the Mexican folk dance. The Mexican folk dance basically integrates different elements. They are three. The first one is the music from Europe. The second one is the music that our native groups made. And the third one is the African beats, like Cuban rhythms, for example. So basically, all these elements influence the music in the Mexican folk dance. The mix of all these styles would create what we know as the Mexican music used in the Mexican folk dance. Back then, when the Spaniards came to Mexico and they colonized it, Europe had lost its dance. So now Mexico, with the Mexican folk dance, brought back dance to Europe. Basically, dances like La Chacona, La Zarabanda, La Pavona were originated during this time and they were brought back to Europe. So then, after that, in the 19th century, there's this new genre called pirecua. Yeah. And it was a type of music that combined the singing of the ancient indigenous groups with religious music. To this followed the son that designated at the beginning of the 19th century as well. Any of the country's sonnets were incorporated with dance in a popular event that contained mestizo stylistic features that were called sonnets, which is the son. With this name, the songs and profane dances were known in New Spain, a style in which they mixed the own styles of the natives, the criollos, and the blacks, giving rise to the different classes of son. Like the Cuban son or the son jarocho that are still known to this day, I believe. The Puritanism of the church tried to stop the development of these dances because they were thought as immoral, but they failed because they couldn't with the strength of the people, and so the dance kept on developing. What does the dance and the costumes of the dance consist of? Well, the dance itself depends on the region, just like most of things in Mexico, such as food and music itself also varies depending on the region, right? So the dance itself also varies as well as the costumes. So basically, they represent the culture depending on the region. The dance itself consists of zapateado, which is an intricate way of footwork in which you have patterns between the heel and the toe, creating a rhythm that goes with the song that is playing. The footwork, like the order of it and how they move around on the stage, also depends a lot on the region, just like the music, just like the costumes, just like almost everything in Mexico. In these dances, it is also common for the dancers to interpret animals such as like birds or horses, imitating their movements. The costumes in these dances vary in color as well depending on the region. There are some that are white and then there are some that are really bright colors such as yellow and blue. Women will use long skirts, and these skirts are made specifically for like in a circle shape, so that when they move it, it looks like the waves in the ocean, and it's part of the stylistic aesthetic of this dance. They have lacy blouses, shawls, as I said before, a headpiece, and some white hard-heeled shoes. That's for the zapateado. Going back to the skirts, depending on the circle being made of the fabric, the skirt will be shorter or it will be longer. In some cases, you must have to take 2 semicircles and then put them together to make an extra long skirt to be able to like stretch it out and put it on the top of your head. The process of making the skirt is sometimes tedious because if you mess up, you're gonna have to start over again and have to grab a whole lot of fabric again to do it. So this is like specifically designed for stylistic purposes, and that's why the makers of these skirts and the designers of these skirts must be respected, because they spend a lot of time doing it. Men will use a guayabera, which is a Mexican style button-up that has embroidered a lot of patterns on the sides and big pockets on the front. There's pants, a handkerchief, a hat, and white boots with hard heels, just like the girls, for the zapateado. Both dancers have nails on the heels so that when they do the zapateado, it is enhanced and can be heard better. It helps it sound extra uniform and loud, and also it helps the people notice that the zapateado is going on with the rhythm of the song, which is a very stylistic type of thing, and it's very iconic of these dances, which is why they're fun to watch. As a conclusion, this was like the most basic information I could find. If not, this would have been a longer video and a longer essay and a longer everything. But yeah, I tried to like summarize it as much as possible. As Mexicans, we should be proud of these type of things because they represent who we are. They represent our culture, and they help people identify what we do as Mexicans, you know, like what our culture is, not just taquitos and stuff. Most of us got to dance this at least once in like elementary school, which is pretty cool actually if you think about it, because we're being basically put in the shoes of these dancers and we're getting to experience firsthand what it's like to dance it. But I think that this is like, that's very important because not a lot of places do this. So we get to have like a bit of a first-hand experience with our own culture, which is cool. Because most of us in the north, for example, aren't very exposed to that type of thing. It's more in like downwards towards the country. So that's like a really cool thing. From an emic perspective, I believe that most Mexicans have a soft spot for stuff like this. We're proud of our country, okay? Like there's no denying that we're proud. Everything that we do good in this country, we're proud of. So these type of things make our pride shoot up a lot. So we're like, we're very passionate about it. So some won't really respect the dancers like they should. They put such hard work on this type of thing, and I think that we should like really acknowledge that. They're keeping a dance that has been around for so long, and they're doing a good job with it. So they're keeping that part of our culture alive, and we should be thankful for it. We shouldn't try to shut it up, you know. To us, this is a symbol of expression, of freedom, of interpretation. With this, we can notice that our dances are really unique, especially when you ask outsiders what they think about it, just like I did. Most of my interviewed people said that they found it very unique and that the dances were something so out of the modern thing that they were very, very surprised about it. That they really liked the costumes and that the colors were very, very cool as well. They said that Mexico has the best holidays and that they really can dance and that the music is really fun and that it sounds really jumpy. So really, we can really note that these type of things are like very unique to us. And these traditions keep our culture enriched, and that we can really see that our country isn't as boring as we really thought it was until we see these type of things. And other people outside can see that too. I really hope that these dances can keep being present in the future, because I find that they are a really essential thing in our country, and I really hope it doesn't die out, just like the Day of the Dead has been dying out in some parts of the country. Like I just really hope that it doesn't happen with this. Okay, it was it helps its